Hi, ghosted, ignored. Yeah. Well, look, those titles are exactly what we need to be thinking and saying and hearing to get us stuck exactly where we don't want to be, which is in the victim position where we're not able to do anything from there. But please stick and see this video until the end, because I will show you how to get from where you are right now to where you want to be. And so let me give you a short introduction. I am Maro and I am the founder of Awakening Games, and I am creating at the moment courses where I'm going to be posting in the description box of every YouTube video. So if you find that this content resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment below, find me on social media. Do reach out and tell me what you're needing more of in content and in courses. So, yeah, and just to complete about the technique, what we use is a game. So we're playing an awakening game. The more we play, the more we awaken to who we really are. Okay, so this method, this process, it actually helps us awaken to the matrix, to the illusion, to the egoic self, heal traumas, integrate bits and parts of who we are. And it's so simple that we can just be playing this. And the more we play, the more we integrate, the more we become what we're looking for, what we're aiming at. So, yeah, ghosted or being ignored. And what that has to do with the abandonment wound. You see, as long as we are talking about them, there's not a lot that we can do. But when we know that it has to do about us and where our, places in this dynamic, then we could actually start shifting things. And because we have pinpointed exactly where it is that we are actually recreating this experience and for what reason. So whereas at the beginning, when we're, referring to just them, being ignored by them, so they're not doing the action, so they're doing, not doing an action is actually creating that experience of being ignored and ghosted. So we cannot change them, right? Since we can't change them and they're not giving us what we want, then we're stuck. No, we're not. As long as we know that we are recreating this experience so that we can actually heal and integrate a part of ourselves that is called the abandonment wound. Being rejected and abandoned, right? So abandoned is even more core, or the neglect wound, because to be ignored and ghosted is also triggering the wound of being neglected. So we have rejection, abandonment, and neglected. Now, how we would like to shift this around is actually, look at this. Had we not abandoned ourselves because we're, or rejected ourselves or neglected ourselves, so abandoned, neglected, and rejected ourselves, others would not mirror this back. And if they did, we wouldn't notice and it wouldn't hurt. Now, the only way that we can actually start to love ourselves and see ourselves is when, our mirror, our outer world starts showing us things that, could help us go inwards. So as long as I am not aware of where I am rejecting myself, where I am abandoning myself, and where I am neglecting myself, as long as I'm not aware, others doing it for me will be very, very, very painful and scary and traumatic. It will be shocking, it will be disorienting, it will be something that, is very, extremely painful. Now, the more we make it about us figuring out where we're doing this, and we're more interested in that, and the more we are interested in that, the less we are interested in them not doing it or doing something specific, by giving us attention and love. So it's like a mathematical equation. So the more we're focused on wanting to see where we're doing it, now them not giving us attention or not being in our lives or ignoring us or neglecting us or abandoning us becomes less and less painful. Not as important, because we are aware in that moment that they are serving us as a mirror to go and see where we're doing it. Because the question would be, how do I know when I'm doing it? So that's the first question. So one thing is for sure, because it's very simple. I'm doing it the moment I'm seeing another do it. Now, you would say, yeah, but I'm probably doing it in other places in my life. Yes, and I would agree where they're not that obvious. But now, the certain thing is that I am totally rejecting, abandoning, and neglecting myself the moment I'm experiencing another doing it to me. And in that moment, it has reached its peak. It's acute. The trigger is at its peak, and because now we can actually, feel the pain through the trigger, and then actually in that moment reverse it instantly. So let's say, for example, somebody has already ghosted you or ignored you or is pushing you away or is doing this now. What we can do, because this event has already happened, right? We can actually think about this event right now. Because the fact that you're watching this video is probably because something just recently happened, or you're afraid of something similar happening in the future, in the near future with somebody. So, right? So just the fact that you're watching this video means that emotionally and on a feeling level, the scenario is triggering just at the thought of it. Either it happened, or it's you're in the process of experiencing it right now, or you're afraid of it happening in the future. So what we would want to do is we would want to actually think of this event. Yes, it sounds a bit oxymoron, but when we're not wanting it, we're not allowing to feel through it and heal through it, to transcend it, and then not need to project this wounding on the outer world anymore. We're just going to bypass it, suppress it, ignore it, and then reproject it on the outer world, until we're done with it, until we are integrated and healed through this experience. So what we want to do then is recreate this experience on the thought level and allow to feel the emotions and the feelings on our body. And as we're feeling it on our body, we want to bring in that presence for our inner child by saying, I am here for you. I am here with you. Right? Or I'm here with me. I'm here for me. So depending on how it feels, right? There's no right or wrong. We want to feel the sensations in the body while being present. Again and again and again and again. This process is the healing process. This process is the integrative process. This process is the way to not need to recreate this experience on our outer world and project it. And going through this process will actually light up any other moments and situations and ways we are rejecting, abandoning, and neglecting ourselves. So you see, it's easier to heal it from something that's happening now than to go into our childhood. Because what has happened in our childhood is actually repeating itself in our reality right here, right now. And so we could ask ourselves, if we are open, when did this happen first? Like the first time it happened in childhood, can I also go love myself there? So many approaches would go into the childhood and recall memories, but most of us are actually already living our childhood in the here and now. We're recreating the patterns, we're just not aware of them. But if we're aware of both, why not work with both? Whatever feels more comfortable. There's no right or wrong, and it's not going to be better if I remember what happened in my childhood. And, not remembering or remembering, is fine. As long as I'm able to, in every moment, want to feel the trigger and grow through and from the trigger. And making it specific, so we would want something specific for, until I feel that that place is taken care of, and loved by me, and I feel safer. I would love to make this triggering exercise very specific so I can grow through and from it. So being ghosted and being ignored, right? The more and more we will be wanting for this trigger to happen, because in that moment we will be witnessing ourselves doing it, and how we can reverse it by just saying, I'm here. That's how we reverse it, by sitting and just saying, I'm here, and focusing on our body. The more we are interested in this, the more we are welcoming being ignored and ghosted on our outer world. And this makes it so that the outer world now is becoming our teacher, our guide, not our enemy. And whoever's playing that role is actually really much appreciated. They are playing the villain, so we can go through the hero's journey. More on the next video. Okay, so you got triggered, and the question now is, do you use the trigger as an excuse to shut down, withdraw, and or react? Or do you choose to grow through and from this trigger? The second looks like this. We allow the negative thoughts and emotions and feelings. And in that moment, we are present in our body and focus exactly where it is that our senses are directing our attention towards. And the more we are being present and allowing to feel, by making this okay, making it right, not wrong, but right, the more we exponentially grow. And this is what healing through and from the trigger looks like.